So President Trump did a town hall meeting on ABC with George Stephanopoulos, and he gave us a bunch of amazing moments. Here's one of the most jaw-dropping.
We have to be prepared for a possible second wave. I understand that you don't want to panic people. You said you want people to be calm. You've often talked about Winston Churchill and FDR, and they did reassure people. They were strong. They did keep people calm, but they also were straight. They said this war is going to be tough. It's going to be a real fight. We have to persevere.
So when Churchill was on the top of a building and he said everything's going to be good, everything's going to be calm, and you have the Nazis dropping bombs all over London, he was very brave because he was at the top of a building. It was very well known that he was standing on buildings and they were bombing. And he says everyone's going to be safe. I don't think that's being necessarily honest, and yet I think it's being a great leader. But he said, you're going to be safe, be calm, don't panic. And you had bombers dropping bombs all over London. So I guess you could say that's not so honest, but it's still great leadership.
So do you think it's okay to be dishonest?
I'm not looking to be dishonest. I don't want people to panic, and we are going to be okay. We're going to be okay, and it is going away, and it's probably going to go away now a lot faster because of the vaccine. It would go away without the vaccine, George.
The thing about the Trump era that's so incredible is that everything's out in the open. Everything's out in the open. All the other presidents before him were practiced in doing the tap dancing BS to be president. Like, they know how to do the show, you know, have the veneer, have the facade, do the kabuki theater, mimicking like you're serious people making serious decisions, and you know you're on top of it all. With Trump, like all the dirty laundry is just aired out in the open. Like, these conversations are conversations that would have happened behind closed doors previously. Now he's like, he has to debate them openly. Well, actually, you know what? It was happening behind the scenes, and then Bob Woodward released the tapes, which is now why we're having the conversation out in the open. But I mean, look at the argument he's making. This is, this is incredible. He is proactively making an argument in favor of dishonesty. Basically, what he's saying is, listen, sometimes in order to be a good leader, you got to not tell the truth. You got to not tell the truth. He goes on in another part in the town hall to say, like, I'm America's #1 cheerleader. That's what I am. I'm America's #1 cheerleader. But, like, again, even if you believe that, that's not something you should say out loud. Because nobody else, other than the people who already love you, are going to listen to you make an argument in favor of dishonesty and be like, yeah, I think he's got a good point there. Because most people want the truth to come first. The facts to come first. Tell me the reality of the situation, and then you can put, you know, your little spin on it. You know, it's almost like, this is the way I like to think about it. It's almost like if you're playing a sport and you're let's say basketball, for argument's sake. Your team's down 17 points at the beginning of the fourth quarter. What do you say when you're having the conversation with the team and you're the coach before the fourth quarter? Do you say, listen, I like how my coach is now Trump. Listen, what I want everybody to understand is you're winning. You're not losing. I think you're winning. I think you're already winning. I think that the fact that we're 17 points down, maybe the score is messed up, and maybe that's actually not what the score is. Have you really been keeping track of every point, every step of the way? I mean, I think I've been looking at it, and you know what? I think that we're winning, frankly. Many people are saying that we're actually winning. So is that leadership? Is that like, you know, you being strong? No, that's you being a moron and denying objective reality. What a real leader can do and should do is say, hey, listen, we're 17 points down, but you have to keep your nose to the grindstone. You have to keep going after it. You have to fight and scratch and claw your way back by any means necessary. There's no more messing around. You give 100% effort and you leave it out there on the floor, and then if you give it everything you have, we can be up. We can come back. We can win this thing. See, there's a categorical difference between lying about the nature of reality and accepting the nature of reality, and then after you do that, putting your positive spin on it to try to fire people up. But Trump is just he's arguing in favor of dishonesty. And then, he messed up because when George Stephanopoulos pushed back a little bit and was like, so you're saying it's okay to be dishonest. He's like, no, I'm not saying that. That is exactly what you said, dude. This is the thing about Trump. He's so slippery. Like, he'll say something, and then you can accurately categorize what he said right back to him to his face. But I didn't say that. Yes, you did. You did. And then he, tries to tap dance his way out of it and BS his way out of it. It's funny because just like Rand Paul said during the primary, Trump is a truth teller without the truth. He's got the feel of a truth teller because he's obviously shooting from the hip and he's impulsive and he's got no filter. But yeah, most of the stuff he says is total nonsense. He made an argument in favor of dishonesty. I mean, I don't know how to stress that anymore to you guys. Like, to try to show you this is absurd. We've never seen anything like this. All the dirty laundry is aired out in the open now. And he was caught. He was caught in the tapes with Bob Woodward. By the way, I'm kind of surprised he didn't just go with the line of like, I didn't say that. Because we've heard him do this before. He'll get caught on tape and be like, I didn't say that. Like remember when he pretended to be his own publicist back in like the 80s? Yeah, my name is John Miller, and I have to say that this Trump guy is dating these beautiful, wonderful, amazing women. I think he dated Madonna once. I think he went out with all these women. All these women want him. They keep throwing themselves at him. This is what's going on. I'm Trump's publicist. I'm John Miller. And it was him, obviously, on the calls. And then they had him recorded. They played the recording, and he was like, that's not me. So I was half expecting that with Woodward. Just be like, no, I didn't say that, even though he said it. But no, what he's doing is he's accepting that he said it, but he's going out there and saying, no, it's the right thing. I did the right thing. I did the absolute right thing. Sure. I said behind closed doors that coronavirus is way worse than the flu. And then in public, I said, it's just like the flu. But it doesn't matter because I didn't want to panic people. This is what strong leadership is. So strong leadership includes being dishonest. Here's the main point, guys. If there's anything you take away from this segment, let it be this. If Donald Trump is willing to lie about something as monumentally important as coronavirus, which killed 195,000 Americans as of right now, there's nothing he won't lie about. Because this is the most important issue facing the country, literally, number one in every poll. It's the most consequential thing happening to this nation. It is a life and death issue. It's a pandemic. It doesn't get any more serious than this. If he's willing to lie about this, there's nothing that he's not willing to lie about. Because he'll always rationalize it. He'll always spin it. If you think, hey, lying about this is part of leadership, then why wouldn't lying about healthcare be part of leadership? Why wouldn't lying about the economy be part of leadership? Right? And that's exactly what he does. He lies about these things all the time, but he tells himself, no, it's okay because this is what a good leader does. So, and we'll get to, more stuff later, but guys, 46% of the country is having, quote, serious financial problems. And Trump is going to swat all of that aside, and he's going to argue, stock market's doing wonderful. I think the economy's doing wonderful. We're setting records. This is incredible. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. Now, in the past, I would have said, hey, maybe he's an idiot, and he doesn't realize the economy's bad. Now, knowing everything I know with what has happened recently, no. Trump knows the economy's a mess. Trump knows people are struggling. But he will actively choose, he'll lie by omission, and focus on whatever indicators he can to say things are going wonderful. Because this mindset is what he has on every issue across the board. Maybe Churchill wasn't being exactly honest when he said what he said. It wasn't, but I still think it was good leadership. That's an argument in favor of lying to the public. That's what that is. And if he's willing to lie about this, he's willing to lie about absolutely anything, and he very likely is. So just know what we're dealing with here. Just know what we're dealing with. This is a guy who is not, by any stretch of the imagination, committed to the truth. Honestly, that's probably like the number one value that I hold dear, is like, just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Even if I'm wrong and I tell you guys what I think the truth is, at least you know I'm being honest and I was honestly incorrect about something, and then we can correct it. it's clear that is not a value he has at all. And I would argue any real leader needs to acknowledge what's happening, needs to acknowledge facts and reality, and then adjust accordingly. But if you don't pass that, you're not passing the most basic test of leadership. Because you could just be an unscrupulous liar on everything and rationalize it to yourself every night before you go to bed. Hey, it's okay that I lied because of reasons X, Y, and Z. Or you could just have a hard and fast rule, no lying. But no, that's gone. It really is amazing that he openly argued in favor of dishonesty. I've never seen anything like that before. And I don't know, like, there were a lot of moments that went viral from this town hall. This is not one of the moments. And I'm floored. And it's actually a little bit of a testament to how good of a BSer he is. Because that means that there's some people who watched it who were like, I guess I understand what he's saying. That's fair. But there are other points where they're like, oh, you know, everybody's going crazy and they're running the clips and they're like, this is insane. But they're not talking about this part. The facts have to come first. You can't override reality and then rationalize it later. Because then you're just a liar. You are the definition of dishonest. That's what you are. And that's not a positive characteristic, really, according to anybody.